Hello, vinyl friends. We're wrapping up the year 2025 by going back to the start. Not the start of the year, but we're going to do great album openers.
It's an idea that a friend of the show, Mike Crowder, had when I was at the last Crossroads music show. And it's one of those things that's so obvious, it makes you think, why did we not think of this before now? But yeah, and there's a lot of them. There's a lot of great ones.
There are a lot of them. There are a slew of them. And there's some bands that specialize in great, I don't know if they specialize, they're just really good at creating great album openers.
Yeah, and the thing is, in today's world, I don't think people have this concept a lot because albums are a lost art.
Yeah.
And when people listen to digital music, they aren't listening, most of the time, they aren't listening to things in the order that they are on the album.
Yeah.
So we wanted to harken back to the album because, as you guys know, we love the album. And
We do a vinyl show.
Yeah, I'm going to say album as many times as I can today. But this was a fun thing to go through and look for me because there's a couple that I'm going to talk about that even before we had this idea, I always loved the fact that these were the starters for these records, you know?
Yeah, and when you go back and listen to some of these, some of them have a real definite feel, and they kind of set the stage for the way the album's going to go.
Yeah, which is cool, which is the whole reason that we love doing this is because these things are time machines, and the album is a journey. See, I just got another album in there.
Yeah, that's one that was on the list.
What?
Journey,
Oh,
Don't Stop Believing,
yeah.
But it's not on our list.
It's not on our list. We're not talking about Journey today. And just so you know, Wheels wrote down 400.
Maybe not 400. I mean, he's told me a million times not to exaggerate, but there are a lot.
He's writing the stuff down, which I totally respect. Now, what way do you approach this? Are you going to go to the computer and like look for lists, or are you going to try to think of them yourself before you go to the computer?
I'm probably more, let's go to the computer and it'll get my brain activity going.
I am too. There's just so much useless stuff up here.
Yeah.
That I almost need like that kickstart.
Yeah, it's like a
bump.
a fuel starter. Yeah.
It's like a bump.
I just need something to get me thinking about more stuff and looking at more stuff. And then I'm like, oh, I wonder if this band.
Yeah. And then it becomes a bit of an obsession.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I spend, like, whenever we're doing these shows, I spend a couple of hours
researching,
and some of it is actual research. Some of it is a rabbit hole. Mm-hmm. Like, there's no reason for me to write down all these songs.
Because you want to.
Because I want to see what is out there.
Yeah.
I want to see where my picks are.
Yeah. And most of my picks, a couple of them are on a few lists that I saw, but it's just cool to see what other people think about these themes and these ideas that we have for shows. And that's what makes it a community. And speaking of the community, what do we want to do? We want to tell these folks, we want to tell them to subscribe to this YouTube channel because
that is probably the most important thing you can do.
Yeah. And in addition to that, we have our Fourth Wall page where you can get behind the scenes footage and audio and merch. And, you know, on the social medias, we've got a team of 4 on this show. So if it isn't John or myself that responds, Jacob or Keith will. And we love that back and forth between the folks on the social media and us. So please go to those things, like, subscribe, comment, and share, and we'll be off to the races. And speaking of off to the races, not only was it kind of a struggle to pare down to 5.
Oh, yeah, it was.
But I'm starting with my favorite one. I may not be going in order of how much I like them, but the first one I talk about is, I think, one of the best album openers ever.
Yeah, and my approach is obviously I have the vinyl, so I like everything. It's maybe not my favorite stuff, and that's kind of the way I approach some of these lists. It's like it matters what I like, but it matters also what is thought to be
In that higher position.
yeah, in that higher position.
Yeah, for sure. I feel the same way. You're not going to get two people are not going to like have the same top 5 album opener albums.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
Because, you're going to have people that are leaning more toward the popular music and rock side. You're going to have people leaning more. There's a lot of punk albums that I know
Yeah.
people really love those opening songs from. So there's going to be a spectrum. And again, that's what makes this so much fun.
Yeah, and we try to bring different albums to talk about. Otherwise, we'd be talking about the same 5 albums all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I really do make a conscious effort. And John and I will always only talk about albums we have, except for very
Few things.
few things. But I always like to broaden what I bring in from my collection. I mean, basically, this is a show and tell show, and we bring records and we talk about them. I mean, it's no more complicated than that.
No.
And if you go to show and tell in kindergarten or first grade, you don't want to bring the same stuff to show and tell every week, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want to bring your pet raccoon every day.
Rocky.
Yeah.
So speaking of starting off show and tell, why don't you start our show and tell off with your first favorite or best album opener?
Yeah, and I brought the good old Beatles. We talk about the Beatles a lot, but I don't talk about, this is not my favorite Beatles album by any stretch of the imagination. But it starts with Come Together, which that song has become a legendary song, thanks in part to Aerosmith.
Yeah. Well, and Michael Jackson also
And
did
Michael
a
Jackson.
version of it, which in my house, my wife likes the Aerosmith version better
Oh, really?
or the Michael version better. I like the Beatles version better. She hadn't heard the Beatles version when she heard the Michael and the Aerosmith version. But this song is also known as being a fantastic second side. So I've never really thought until you mentioned it about Come Together. So it's got a great opening song, and the second side has that like whole medley.
Yeah.
It really is a great album, even if it is put together with bits and pieces from different songs.
And the Beatles weren't known for having great album openers.
No, I mean, the one that I thought of that I didn't bring to talk about was Help. I think that song starts and it just goes through the end.
I love that song, and I should have thought of that one, but I just felt like Come Together was a better example because it's a pretty well-known Beatles song.
Well, it's well known, and you think in the context of when this was, and you had the Vietnam War still raging on, and the peace movement, and a lot of social justice movements going at that same time in the late 60s, early 70s. And that song is kind of a theme song,
An anthem, yeah.
an anthem for that kind of thing. And yeah, it's great. I mean, it is so crazy. I still haven't watched the Beatles anthologies that just came out. But it is so crazy that even the Beatles' worst stuff is better than most bands' best.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's just a very special thing.
it truly is.
Yeah. So you don't pull this out and listen to it very often.
No.
I'm going to flip it around because I've always loved the picture on the back where the woman is just barely in the frame, and then you have Abbey Road and Beatles up there. Have you been to London where this is?
No.
My wife and I.
Oh,
got
that's
to
super
go.
cool.
I think back in 2015 we did a big European trip and got some pictures walking across the street. I'll try to track those down and post them.
Yeah, that's cool that you got to recreate there's probably a lot of people that
I think it causes traffic issues there.
Yeah.
I think that they're not terribly fond of the amount of people on foot
No.
that come and do that. That's a great one. I mean, I've always loved the Beatles since I was a little kid, scratching the hell out of my mom's Beatles records. Bazinga, Mr. Russell.
Ding.
Why did I just say Bazinga? Am I
you wanted to.
young Sheldon?
Yeah.
Yes, that will get to the edit room floor. There's something strange about this band too, because I think no matter if you're talking about young kids or older people, everybody loves them. I mean, I think it's an overused criticism that everybody loves the Beatles, and then you'll find that one guy out of 100 that says he hates them. But there's something for everybody in their music.
There really is. It's funny. You said everybody loves them. I used to work with a guy from London.
Mm-hmm. And he didn't love them?
He did not love them. He was younger than me, and he was more into the newer house music.
Uh-huh.
And they didn't do anything for him.
Interesting.
But I mean, I guess if you're not hearing the band on the radio that much,
Mm-hmm.
you're not getting the everyday propaganda of, hey, this is the band.
You're not getting pummeled.
Yeah,
with
you're
it.
not getting pummeled.
And that's another thing. I mean, there are those Beatles standards that are on the radio, but a lot of their stuff from 13 albums, you just never hear unless you go seek it out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So they're kind of hiding in plain sight, which the Beatles are just a phenomenon. Nobody understands it other than the fact that they were fantastic. 100 years from now, people are going to be like dissecting what the hell is going on there.
Yeah. So I started with them. I mean, just because I don't think we've talked about this album that much.
We haven't. And there's no better like sentiment than coming together.
Yeah.
And, we're getting ready. Christmas is a couple days away. We should all come together and just go to your records, find that opening song that you love, put it on, and watch the family converge, and everybody will come together.
Now, if I'd never talked about them, but I've talked about them a bunch, Nirvana Nevermind.
Smells Like Teen Spirit.
That's probably one of the best kickoffs ever.
Yeah.
But we've talked about that until we're blue in the face.
That's a good one. I like it.
Next.
My first one, and I didn't think of this organically. I was reading and looking at a list. I think maybe the best opening song from any album of any era is Them Bones on Alice in Chains' Dirt. I remember my buddy Kyle Chuddick was a fan of this band before I was, and he kind of introduced me to them and Soundgarden. But I will never forget, like in his car, I think on cassette, listening to Them Bones. He just put it in and that came on, and it starts with that like scream from Lane Staley. And the song's like 2 minutes long, or 2.5 maybe. But that song is a stage setter for this album and for this band, really. And it's so fast and furious and percussive, and the harmony co-lead vocal thing that he and Jerry Cantrell do. I mean, everything about this song says fantastic. And Alice in Chains is a grunge era band, but I just don't think they're a grunge band. You know what I mean? I think I feel like their sound, almost every album like changes. They're not necessarily chameleons, and you can hear those things in their music that are distinctive that make them Alice in Chains. But every album is different. Like the one before this, Facelift, I loved that. I mean, when Kyle introduced me to them, it was Sea of Sorrow and Man in the Box
Oh yeah.
from that first album. But I just don't think there's a better like album or a song to open an album than this. And
It really sets the stage of what you're about to hear.
yeah, it does. And it's it's also a thing where I don't know what the length of that song is. It's pretty short. They don't have the song lengths on here. But the other thing is, in the 90s, songs and albums just became longer because they weren't beholden to the vinyl record anymore. They weren't beholden to the 24, 25 minutes aside thing. So not only did you have songs getting longer, you had albums that were upwards of 55, 60 minutes.
Yeah.
And in that era also, you probably, because of that ability to have a lot more media on the compact disc, you probably had a lot more stuff released on the album that in the days of vinyl might have not made the album.
Right.
But this whole album is just a banger, and it came out in September of '92. It was critically acclaimed. This is kind of the record that put them on the map, and then this band would live fast and die hard. I mean, two of the guys that were on this album are no longer with us. And they've got a new singer, William Duvall. I've seen him a couple of times. I love the albums they do with him, and I think he does an awesome job live, but, there's no replacing a singer like Lane Staley. I mean, it's just so distinctive and unlike anything that we've ever heard or heard since. So, yeah, that's my number one, and I think it, as time goes on, we can probably do another album opener show. We could probably do one of those every day. And never run out of albums to talk about. But this is the one that really, really hit home for me. So, Alice in Chains, Dirt, R.I.P. Lane Staley.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
Well, we're going to jump ahead many years.
Okay.
We're going to jump ahead to LCD Sound System. This is happening, and it opens with a song called Dance Yourself Clean.
Okay.
And this is their second album. On their first album, they started with another pretty darn good opener. Daft Punk is playing at my house.
Really?
Yeah. And the LCD Sound System is kind of an electronic dance band, for lack of a better description. What do they kind of call them? Dance punk, electronic, art rock.
Okay.
Dance punk. I like that.
Yeah.
That kind of sums it up. But this song is almost... they start the album with a song that's almost 9 minutes long.
So I was just talking about how short Them Bones is,
Yeah.
and now this is a 9-minute song to...
Yeah, and I think with me, that's how I kind of... A lot of the stuff that I really, really like are these songs that start with one groove and change to a total different groove.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Kinda
I think-
have movements in it.
They have movements.
Yeah.
And I think that's like this song, I think 2 or 3 minutes before you even hear a vocal.
Interesting. Huh.
It's just a groove.
Yeah. That's awesome. Does this open up to...
Yeah, it's a gatefold.
Okay, let's take a look at the...
And it came out in 2010.
I dig it. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's cool. I have never listened to them.
Oh.
I should give them a listen.
Well, I mean, it's one of those... I just love this sound.
Yeah.
I love the kind of dance sound. I like Daft Punk.
Oh, I do too. Yeah.
You'd like LCD Sound System.
Okay, well, I'll have to give them a listen. So 2010, Virgin Records.
Yeah, and LCD Sound System is really James Murphy and a collection of his buddies.
Yeah. And was he in another band?
No.
Oh,
He
okay.
was... they kind of started a label, in New York with that whole Strokes, yeah, yeah, yes
Oh,
thing,
okay.
TV
Yeah.
on the radio. So they started a label,
Okay.
DFA,
Okay.
and this is not on DFA.
No. Yeah, it's Virgin.
But-
Let's open this up too.
He was doing a lot of producing
Uh-huh. Okay.
and just working in a studio.
Which I totally get. I love studio work. I love to record in studios and just be around
Yeah.
bands that are recording in studios. It's an interesting dynamic that it creates. That's awesome. How many records did these guys have?
I want to say they only have 4.
Okay.
Yeah, they only have 4 records, which is kind of amazing because they still pop up in films.
Mm-hmm.
They're still relevant.
Yeah.
And supposedly they're working on some new stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Long gone are the days from the 60s and 70s when bands were putting new music out every 6 months. You know, it's just a totally different world. It's almost, the album is almost an afterthought now because bands are putting out singles, you know, and then if they do release anything, it's usually an EP, which is usually 4 or 5,
Yeah.
6 songs. So the whole like diaspora of what an album is doesn't mean anything to people anymore.
No.
So album openers, I mean, I guess the closest thing for most people would be like playlist openers, which would also be a
Yeah.
good,
That'd be a good one.
like the best gym songs, or you know, songs to listen to while you're riding or
Yeah.
running or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, that's a good one. I mean, it's a band that is on my list of things that Wheels listens to that I need to
That you need
check
to
out.
need to check out. Yeah, and it was actually jointly released with DFA and Virgin, and then elsewhere, Parlophone.
Oh, okay. Parlophone probably in Europe, I would guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the imports.
Okay. Well, cool, man. LCD Sound System. This is happening.
Dance yourself clean.
Dance yourself clean. The next one is also kind of the first time I heard of it. I didn't know what I was listening to, much like the Alice in Chains, but Metallica's Master of Puppets.
That's a great one.
Battery starts this album off, and it basically takes you by the throat and doesn't let you go until the end. And this is Metallica's 3rd album, released in March 1986. This was kind of a landmark album for them because they had Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning. They were a thrash band from the West Coast who took hold in New Jersey. When you think about it, it's just, you hear this. I think of myself listening to this back in 86, 87, when I was like 13, and I didn't know what the hell I was listening to because thrash was certainly not something that was on the radio.
No.
And it was certainly not something that was on MTV. And it was just such a different sound. And we've talked a lot of times. Now it just sounds like hard, fast, heavy rock and roll. But at the time it sounded like groundbreaking.
Yeah.
And it really was. So this was, I feel like Master of Puppets, they still had the core band. Dave Mustaine from Megadeth had been kicked out years before. Kirk Hammett came in to replace him. And then, you know, you had Cliff Burton, who in reading over the years was really kind of the musical linchpin for the band. But, you know, this was their first step to the mainstream. And it would be 2 more albums before they really made that step. 3 more, or 2 more albums. But yeah, man, I think Battery is one of their best songs, bar none. But as an album opener, it's unmatched. And you know, these presses, there's a bunch of Walmart presses too, but this is I don't know, maybe in 16 or 17, their album or their record label re-released and repressed all of their stuff on Blackened Records, which is another great Metallica song. These sound really, really good. They're much in the same vein as those Pink Floyd 15, 16 presses. And then on the back, you just got some live shots and the band portrait there. And these songs are not short songs. Metallica was not known for their brevity. I mean, Battery is 5 minutes, 12 seconds, which is not that long. But you've got Master at 8 minutes, Disposable Heroes at 8 minutes, Orion at 8 minutes, Damage Incorporated at 5.5 minutes. So they were not brief.
No.
In the length of their songs. And, that was kind of revolutionary too, because that leans more into the progressive rock area where you have songs with multiple movements and multiple minutes. I mean, 3 minutes, 4 minutes is basically what the standard is for pop and rock.
Yeah.
And then you have these guys, doubling or tripling that sometimes.
Well, and I feel like Metallica is one of those bands, they really understood why an album opener needs to be a really good song. Like, on the Black Album, Inner Sandman.
Yeah.
They got it.
Yeah. And a lot goes in. I still want to get some folks from some record labels and some producers on here, but a lot goes into the track listing on an album.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of gut feelings from both the producers, maybe the engineers, maybe the A&R people, definitely the people in the band. And I'm sure that there's always a push and pull about how to put the songs in order. But anymore, as we were just saying, since albums are less and less important to these artists, I think that's also a lost art, is the order in which these songs are placed to present as a full platter to the listener.
As a full display of the art.
Yeah. And, sometimes, I mean, I'll admit, when I'm going to the streaming services that I use, I mean, a lot of times I'll listen to full albums, but sometimes I just want to listen to something, or somebody will suggest something and I'll just go listen to a song. So, we're not just like holding on to the 12-inch records. We're holding on to the idea that comes with them, the big 12 by 12 canvas for the cover, the order that the songs are in, the whole package. And
the whole process, because when you take an album out of a cover and put it on a turntable, it's a process. You have to be involved.
Yeah, and
you don't
actively
just hit
involved.
You don't hit a button. You don't hit play and it goes.
Yeah.
It's a whole process that makes you a little more involved with the music.
Yeah, and that's why we love it, folks. Metallica, Master of Puppets, Battery. Fantastic opening song.
Nice.
Thank you.
Well,
I feel like I'm...
Now we're going to get very classic.
Oh.
On Led Zeppelin 3, we open with a song, The Immigrant Song. Mm-hmm. And that's another song. It's not terribly long. It's under 3 minutes, but it's not terribly long, but it starts with this one groove and kind of ramps into another groove.
Yeah. Jimmy Page still has a composer's heart. The way that Led Zeppelin's music is put together in the different movements. He always talked about light and dark, and everything in between. And when you listen to Led Zeppelin, you get that whole spectrum too. This has always been my favorite Zeppelin record because I've always loved it because it's so different from the first two, being more kind of early days of Americana, more roots sounding.
More roots, blues,
acoustic bass. But then they open the album with the heaviest, hardest song that they'd done until that time. Yeah, it's just all this Nordic lore.
Nordic lore.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, this was. I gave this one to Wheels because he mentioned it first, but I love it. It's and you know, I had never really thought about it until we were talking about this yesterday. Led Zeppelin. Let's talk about some of their other opening tracks. Good Times, Bad Times on the first album, right?
Black Dog on
Black
4.
Dog on 4. Is it In the Light on Physical Graffiti?
In the Light kicks off
The
second disc
okay.
of the double.
What's the first song from Physical Graffiti?
I don't know.
I can't remember. Presence, Achilles' Last Stand,
Yeah.
which
They're-
is very much like the
I
Immigrant
think
Song.
more than probably any other band other than one I'm going to list, they really understood the opening track. And that probably goes to Page and his composer's ability.
Yeah.
Because he's thinking about not just how good the music is, but
Yeah.
where to position the music in track order for the listener.
Right. I mean, it's. I'm looking up. Is Whole Lot of Love is the opener from Led Zeppelin 2? Is that right? That's another good one.
Yeah, they really understood how important it was.
Yeah. And let me just so we can.
And this, the Immigrant Song is the lone single from this album. Let that set in for a bit.
I know I think we've mentioned that before.
I'm sure we have.
And it's so strange.
Yeah, that they only had one single.
Well, there was pushback from critics about this album, about that acoustic and bluesy part of it that they'd never heard from such a heavy band before. So that may be why.
Yeah, it was a big departure for them.
Let me see. What is the track? So I'm trying to get the damn track listing. Okay, so Custard Pie is what opens Physical Graffiti. Okay. Well, In the Light is still kind of an opener, just second disc opener.
Yeah, a second disc opener.
No, I mean, there are so many layers to what Led Zeppelin is and was. They really are a very different kind of band than the Beatles. But had they kept going, I feel like they would have very much had a catalog like the Beatles, because their last record was very different, not just because of input from different people in the band, but because of drugs and all this stuff.
Yeah, they were changing what they were doing.
Yeah, but I had never. It's crazy because I really had never thought how many great album openers they have. But every one of their albums opens with a really, really good song.
Yeah.
And to be able to put that out there ahead of everything else and have something that's so strong and so well constructed and memorable. I feel like Black Dog, that is a song, when you hear that guitar riff, you're singing that for like a day.
Yeah.
And that's not an easy task to have a guitar riff. And they are a riff band too. I mean, you think about how many singable guitar parts there are in Led Zeppelin's music. There's a bunch.
Oh,
Van
yeah.
Halen's the same way.
Oh, yeah.
But to have all of those bases covered in this band, I mean, between Jimmy Page and John Paul Jones and the musicianship of John Bonham and the musical history knowledge that Robert Plant had of all of these blues singers, they are a one of a kind band. And I think even though they aren't doing the reunion tour money grab thing, I think that appreciation for them is going up.
Without a doubt.
In today's world, I feel like they may have gotten lumped in with a lot of corporate rock accusations in the 70s and 80s, but they really, I feel like they're coming into their own. And I just, as a 14-year-old kid, Led Zeppelin, like, dragged me in, and it hasn't let go of me since. So,
Yeah, and for me, somebody who's I had Led Zeppelin 4 with Black Dog, of course, because that's like the greatest hits of Led Zeppelin.
Yeah.
But to really rediscover a lot of these Zeppelin albums,
Yeah.
just because I'd never really listened to it that much.
Yeah.
Since we've been doing the show, really.
Yeah, it's so great. Like they're like on 4, Going to California.
Oh, there's
The Rain song. I mean, we could just talk about Led Zeppelin every show because there's so much there, and it doesn't, on the surface, it doesn't seem like much, but they above any other band, I think, when you listen to their music, it is emotional, and there are a lot of movements like you were mentioning, and it takes you on a journey. And I feel like somehow their music is able to like pull you in and make you think you've gone somewhere when you listen to it. And that's pretty special. And of course you've got the wheel turner on here where all the things, the die cut stuff changes when you turn the spin wheel. So
yeah, that's always fun. This is it's maybe not an original, but it's a
like an early repress.
An early repress.
Yeah, that's cool. And they also were kind of groundbreaking in the artwork department.
Oh, they were groundbreaking in the art department,
And they have their photos
I mean,
back there.
they're often thought of as like an album band.
Yeah.
So that's probably one of the reasons why, the Immigrant Song was the only single.
Yeah, could be. Well, that's a good one. Of course, I'm on board with that one. No
Without a doubt.
Without a doubt.
You're up.
My next one, you know what I discovered today that really surprised me? I only have, this is probably my favorite Elton John album, and I've only got one copy of this, and I paid $8 for this copy of it.
Really?
Like 16 years ago. And it's a good one. It's a good copy. I don't know
That is a very good copy.
when the pressing is, but Funeral for a Friend / Love Lies Bleeding, very emotional, multi-movement song. It's kind of an instrumental synthesizer thing that moves into Love Lies Bleeding, and then the rest of the double album comes after that. And sorry, I've got the wrong info up. Now, this came out in October of 1973, so I wasn't even born yet. But I, for my entire life, have always loved this record. When I would hear the song Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, it would make me feel like crying every time. Like, it's such a like emotional, moody song, and I feel the same way when I hear it now. I just heard it the other day when I was driving back from my buddy Bill's place, driving on the interstate, and that comes on, and I'm getting ready to weep. There's something really, really special about Elton John and the team between him and Bernie Taupin, with lyrics and music coming together. And they've been so prolific. There's so many Elton John albums, so many great songs. This is his seventh. So 1973
is his seventh.
This is his seventh
and
one.
his first one was what, 69?
Yeah.
He was busy.
Yeah. Like I was saying earlier, I mean, these artists in the 70s had to just keep pumping that out because they didn't have social media. They didn't have MTV. They had rock radio and record stores and radio stations. But they just had to constantly be in the ears of the folks.
Yeah, because that was the only way with new music.
Yeah. And this album, the singles from this were Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting, which is a staple of his. It's not a favorite of mine, but it's a staple of his. Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Benny and the Jets, which I could never hear again in a million lifetimes and be fine. And Candle in the Wind, the first version of Candle in the Wind. Since then, there's been like 3 or 4. But this was a huge critical success for Elton, and pretty ambitious to put out a double album. This kind of preceded all of that double album stuff. And, the artwork on it is just so cool. You have like a triple, like a multi-gatefold, and you have like the art for each of the songs.
That's fun.
Yeah, which is fantastic. And it's taking the album and turning it into even more of an experience. And I just absolutely love that. And I could listen to it all day long. And I kind of like the back of it here with the marquee that tells you what's on the record and tells you who's on it.
So if you're listening to it all day long, are you still listening to Benny and the Jets? Or is that like the bathroom break?
I will listen to Benny and the Jets. I bathroom break. That's funny. DJs used to play the longest song they could to take the bathroom break, which, the big one is Stairway to Heaven as a bathroom break. Actually, Love Lies Bleeding and Funeral for a Friend it's pretty a lengthy one, so that'd be a good bathroom break. The thing about Benny and the Jets is he had a hit with that on rhythm and blues radio. So that song came out. You've got this gay man from Great Britain.
He wasn't gay then.
Well, yes, he was.
He was.
Nobody knew. Nobody knew but him.
Yeah.
But you've got this guy that puts a song out like that breaks through to black radio.
Yeah.
And became a hit on R&B stations. I think that's saying something when you can be him, and this is your 7th album, and you've had as many hits as you have, and then you have a song that just crosses over like that. That's pretty unusual.
Yeah, that's very unusual.
And it's not that it's a bad song. It's one of those songs that I think of
you've
his,
just heard so many times.
It's just so overplayed. Crocodile Rock is another one. I mean, even Elton hates Crocodile Rock. But Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Funeral for a Friend, Love Lies Bleeding, that is a stupendous opening song.
Indeed.
What's your next one?
All right.
I don't think I've ever said stupendous on this show.
Well, now you have.
All right.
We're going to kick it off with the Rolling Stones, Let It Bleed, and they start with Gimme Shelter.
Mm-hmm.
And
it could be the Stones' best song.
Well, the Stones are another one of those bands that were really good at album openers.
Yeah. And guitar riffs.
Oh, yeah. The riffs.
Memorable singable riffs.
I mean, whereas Keith Richards is maybe not as prolific as Page in producing, he really thought about how these songs go together.
Mm-hmm. And another thing about Keith Richards is, being a guitar nerd, he tuned his guitar in so many different tunings, open tunings, and things that were not standard. And he was really one of the first big, guitarists from any huge popular band to do that kind of thing. And that just gives this music a totally different feel as well.
Yeah, it really, I mean, this song, it's another one of those songs that has movements. Because it
totally
starts a certain way and then it just ramps up.
Yeah.
It keeps ramping up.
Yeah. And this is in that era for them where they were just on a...
Yeah. Everything they were putting out was good.
And what year was this?
This came out in 69.
69. See, I thought it was 70s. Yeah. Gimme Shelter is way up there. They are one of those bands, obviously, since they're still around and they've been around for 65 years. They're one of those bands that it's hard to remember. I mean, they've just got so much. Their catalog is so extensive.
Yeah.
There are so many different eras of the band. They've really, I think it's a good thing that they have come back together and continued to tour and put albums out. They aren't doing it because they need the money. They're doing it. They must be doing it because they love giving that to, well, not giving. Their ticket prices are way up there.
Yeah.
But the fans, I don't think people like your kids' age quite realize how special it is to be able to still go see the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
And if you get the opportunity, go.
Go.
I mean, the lead singer from the Mavericks just passed away, and I wanted to see them last summer, and I skipped on that show, and I'm really regretting it. I mean, I was regretting it the next day, but the fact that he passed away really, really drives that home. And my wife, when I told her about that, she's like, you just need to go to these things. And I'm like, you're right.
You're right.
So I'm going to share that with you. You need to go see this music.
Just
And
go
you
to
need-
these things.
Go to the Stones. Anyway, sorry. Back to Gimme Shelter. There's that whole story about the backup singer that sings in this too, where she came in and it was like she got a call at like midnight or something like that and came in and just belted that out.
Yeah.
And was paid like $50.
Yeah.
And then later went after the band for more money, which I get that too. But yeah.
the Stones, like Zeppelin and Metallica, they have really mastered the art of opening tracks. I mean, because you even think of Beggar's Banquet, Sympathy for a Devil, which I would have had, but I wanted to change it up.
wanted to expand. From
Yes,
what
I wanted to expand a little bit. And even, I mean, newer Stones, well, I say newer, but it was in the 80s, but Start Me Up.
Yeah, that's and the funny thing is Start Me Up was a leftover song from that previous album.
Yeah, that whole album, well, most of the album are leftovers.
That's so crazy. No, the Stones are a good one. I mean, they're ever present. They're still doing it. We've lost a few of them, but you know, they're such a great band, and like I said, we're lucky to have them. So,
and one more thing on this. So the songs are not listed in chronological order on the back of the LP.
I don't understand why record companies do that.
I read an article, the art designer did it for spacing.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
because then they would, have a hard stop at each side and it just looked better. So it's more for aesthetics than anything.
It must be that way across the board.
Yeah.
Because I think Van Halen's 5150 on the back, it's not in the order that it is. I could be wrong about that, but we should do a whole show on albums that are not in the order that they're listed.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Until you get to the LP. And
Yeah.
one more thing, Gimme Shelter is spelled wrong. It has an IE on Gimme
On the record?
on the album cover. On the record itself, it's E. Now some of the releases,
Is that IE there?
yes.
Oh, okay. I'm missing it. Interesting.
Now some of the releases had IE on the album itself. This is a German import, so it's on Decca.
Uh-huh.
So I don't know if the Germans are like, it's got to be this way.
That's probably not. I mean,
But they've since, I think on the newer repops, they've corrected that.
oh, okay.
So that's a weird little
Detail.
detail.
Yeah. I love those little details.
Yeah.
Those are great. But I remember being a kid and first noticing songs not being in actual order on the jacket. And I thought that was very interesting. Well, that's a good one, man. Rolling Stones, Let It Bleed, Gimme Shelter. Gimme Stones.
Gimme Stones.
Give me as many Stones as you can. The older I get, the more I love the Stones.
Keep getting older.
I hope to. So I have never talked about this album on this show because it's not one of my favorite Rush albums. This is Caress of Steel. But the song that opens this is Bastille Day, and it is absolutely a face puncher, and I love it. This is like I said, their third album, but the second album with Neil. So when Neil came in, not only did the musicianship of the band just kind of go up a bunch of notches, he started writing the lyrics. So there's a lot of historical stuff packed into lyrics here. And the band started to go more away from being a Led Zeppelin wannabe to moving, kind of their movement toward becoming a prog rock powerhouse. And I think this is the first album that Hugh Syme did the cover for. And from this one through their entire catalog, he did all of their album covers. And there's the back of it. It's an interesting cover. This one's more bright than a lot of the original ones I've seen, where the artwork is a little bit darker and harder to see. This is one of I think again around 2015, they did the entire catalog, repopped it, and put it on 200 gram vinyl. So these records are beefy. And then if you open up here, you've just got lyrics, and then I love these live shots.
Yeah, those
and
live
portraits.
shots are pretty awesome.
Yeah. So this came out in September of 75 on Mercury Records, and it was recorded immediately after the band concluded touring in support of Fly By Night, their second album. So they literally came right off the road and went in and did this. And I just, the other singles on this, actually, Return of the Prince was released as a single, and Lakeside Park. So only two songs, and Bastille Day was not even a single off this, but it is a highlight for sure. And Rush this year announced that they're doing. It'll be fine. Rush just announced that they're doing like a reunion. Neil's not around. There's a woman named Annika who is going to be playing drums in his place. And I'm going to see them in Charlotte because they are.
Oh, you already?
Yeah. I don't buy tickets when they go on sale anymore because I think it's a ripoff. But a buddy, I'm going with a couple buddies, and he's like, I have access to these tickets in Charlotte. You want to go? And I'm like, sure. So
yeah.
I think it's late next year.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Can you imagine when you were like 15 years old, buying a concert ticket and then not going to that show for 9 to 12 months?
Never.
It's nutty. But yeah, Rush, Bastille Day, Caress of Steel, really, really good. Lakeside Park, by the way, is a really good song too. But this has never been a standout album for me. But the song opening this album, Bastille Day, kids, get it. Put it on the turntable and turn it up really loud and piss your neighbors off.
Do it.
What's your last one, John?
My last one. Do you have a personality crisis?
I always do.
Well, the New York Dolls did. And
of course they did. They were men that dressed like their sisters.
That's so they kick off this 73 album, 1973 is when it came out. They kick it off with Personality Crisis, which is so perfect for this band.
Yeah.
For a glam band.
Yeah.
Guys dressed as women.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
you've even got the lipstick.
Yeah, the
writing
lipstick,
the name of the band up there.
Writing the name of the band, yeah.
They are so overlooked.
Yeah.
Like, underappreciated and overlooked. They were just a little ahead of that.
Just a little ahead.
Glam curve, right?
Yeah. They were ahead of glam. They were ahead of kind of the punk sound.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they had great influence on that New York CBGB scene.
Yeah. Did they play at CBGB?
I don't know.
I'm not sure either.
Probably, I don't. They seem like more of a Max's Kansas City.
Yeah. I've always loved, like, it's pink. And then, you've got David Johansen here in his pink dress or whatever he's
Unitard,
whatever
it
he's
is.
wearing. I mean, that had to scare the hell out of people. You had people like Mark Bolan from T-Rex doing the like ambiguous, sexually ambiguous, androgynous. Thank you, Jacob. Androgynous thing. You had Mark Bolan. You had these guys, David Bowie a little bit, Mick Jagger kind of fooled around with a little of that. And it's such a strange thing because this is 53 years ago that this came out, and people today are still like uncomfortable with sexual ambiguity and LGBTQ type stuff. This is 53 years ago.
Yeah,
this is like 4 years removed from the 60s. It's just wild to think of, and it's easy to look back now and kind of glaze over it, but it was a big deal.
It was a big deal on many levels, and this has been hailed as like one of the best debuts ever. Mm-hmm. I mean, they didn't really live up to it after that, but they have a great debut record.
Yeah,
that's full of like. And most of the songs are around 3 minutes. There is a 6-minute song on there, but most of them are around that 3-minute mark.
Yeah, I do not have this on vinyl, and I need to get it.
This is one that I'd be surprised if this wasn't on my essentials list, but
I think it was.
I'm sure it probably was. I mean, I really consider this an essential record that everybody needs to own.
Yeah, or at least hear.
At least here.
And if you're listening to it on streaming, listen to it. Listen to the whole album. What, you don't have 27 minutes to spare? Come on.
Yeah, and repops of this are not expensive.
No, I think I've seen it for as little as like $13 or $14.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and then I don't buy it. And then it goes back up to like 30.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why the hell did I not buy that? So I need to get this one. I know how good it is. I know how groundbreaking it is. But if you listen to it with that lens of think about what's going on today and then subtract 53 years and think about how crazy that type of stuff would have been to talk about in public, on stage, in 1973.
Yeah.
It's really amazing. And I know David Johansen, I know that he did a documentary last year or maybe 2 years ago. I didn't catch it yet. I'd like to watch it.
I haven't watched it yet.
He's
either.
a character. I mean, he parlayed all of this into that Buster Poindexter stuff in the early 80s. He like did a hairpin turn from like rock and punk and just went into the like lounge singer thing. But I thought he was great as that character.
Yeah. He's a very experimental individual.
Yeah. So I can't remember the title of that doc, but I'll share it in the socials if you get a chance. From what I've seen on the trailer, it's great, but also heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So New York Dolls, absolutely groundbreaking band, and that is a good call.
Yeah, to start with Personality Crisis, it kind of sets the stage for, hey, this is what you're going to hear, and this is what we are.
Yeah, that's
I love that.
Yeah.
That they kind of
did a
double entendre with the song.
Yeah, there's a real piss and vinegar kind of feeling you get from those dudes. My last one, I kind of struggled with this. It's one of the first ones I thought of. Man, look how good that looks against our backdrop, because you got the orange and the red and the black. This is
matches.
Yeah, it does. It matches. It really scratches an itch. This, in case you've not heard of it, is Appetite for Destruction by Guns N' Roses. And, this came out in July of 1987. And this album was released, and it was a slow burn because, believe it or not, Welcome to the Jungle was not the lead-off single. It's So Easy was the lead-off single in June, so before the album came out. Then Welcome to the Jungle came out in September. Then Sweet Child of Mine, then Paradise City, then Night Train. We don't have to belabor this. I think much in the way that the band we were just talking about, breaking ground for the androgynous stuff. When this came out, we were in the heat of the 80s glam rock thing that started with bands like the New York Dolls. And we got to the point where these bands were wearing a lot of makeup, big hairsprayed hair, spandex, bright, colors, all kinds of stuff. And these guys come on the scene, and even though in Welcome to the Jungle, Axl's got his hair teased up, I think he did that to like spoof all the bands in LA at the time.
Yeah.
These guys were the antithesis of all of that stuff. And they came in with a like rootsy, bluesy, dirty, scary, loud sound that nobody had been experiencing in the 80s, and they just exploded. I mean, I think, like I was saying, this was a slow burn. This was released, and I think a few months went by and it didn't do anything. And then when Welcome to the Jungle was released, it just popped and you couldn't get away from it. And this band is so strange because, they've been back together at least with 3/5 of the original band for almost 10 years. We saw them at the stadium here in Indy.
And that was a good show.
It was a good show, but it was like over 3 hours. And
it was a long show, and Axl with all those hats was driving me crazy. Every song, he puts a new hat on.
But, they are continuing this like touring thing, which for most bands, you come out, you tour for whatever length of time, and then you stay away for a while. These guys are just going at it. I mean, they're worldwide, and they can sell tickets anywhere. But every year, I keep thinking, well, maybe Guns N' Roses is going to like chill out. And
They're not going to pump the brakes.
And they don't. I love this picture. I've always loved this picture of them on the back. It's like, hey guys, we need a photo for the back of the album, and Slash looks like he's on another damn planet.
Yeah, he's like, what? Okay.
Like I said, we don't need to belabor this, but it is absolutely a fantastic album opener. It's absolutely a groundbreaking record. And the only thing I wish with these guys is that they had the catalog, because 87, I can't do the math, 87 to 20s. It's almost been, in 2027, it'll be 50 years since that came out.
That just blows me away.
Is that right? 2050s?
Is that right?
I don't know. It'll be 40 years. 40 years.
40 years.
87 to 27 is 40. Yeah. Like they have this. They have GNR Lies, which was an EP. Then the two Use Your Illusion records. Then they did a Spaghetti Incident album, which had a bunch of covers and different stuff on it. And then Chinese Democracy. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
They basically have 3 albums, maybe 4.
And for Chinese Democracy, we had to wait,
11 years, 12
11 years.
Yeah.
So if they would have been touring as the core band during that time, I think they found out that everybody's healthier when they're touring because that's the lifestyle they know.
Yeah.
It's like when they have downtime, they don't live healthy lives.
Well, yeah. And, these guys, Duff is clean and sober. Slash is clean and sober. I don't know how much Axl was into any of that stuff. in the height of this.
He had enough going on upstairs.
Yeah. Izzy, I think, had issues with sobriety, and so did Steven Adler, and those two aren't part of the picture anymore in this version of the reunion. I think if they were to try to record new music, which if they've been doing this touring for 10 years, most people are like, where's the new music? That seems like the next step. I kind of feel like the relationship in the recording studio is maybe what brought them to blows in the first place.
Yeah.
And that's probably why they aren't writing new music. Now they are taking leftover stuff from Chinese Democracy, which Slash and Duff did not play on, and
redoing
it with Slash and Duff on it. But that's not really new music.
No.
And it's just an interesting phenomenon that they're so successful in this big air quotes reunion, but they aren't putting new music out.
Well, and they, in a way, they don't have to.
No, they don't have to. And I keep expecting them to not be selling so many tickets on these tours because they've come through Indy at least maybe 2 times on that tour, I think. And, but the globe is their playground, so they can tour the U.S. and then go tour other parts of the world and then come back to the U.S. It's I thought the show was good. I enjoyed seeing Wolfgang's band. That was really great. I didn't think Axl was great.
No, he was acceptable.
Yeah, well, I don't know. He sounded like he was struggling, and a lot of the shows, it seems like he's struggling. But they are a phenomenon, and there's no more a fervent group of fans than Guns N' Roses fans, and those people are going to keep going as long as they put it out. Well, that's my last one. Let me put the zoomed in logo up. It's always fun to have like an exciting theme to talk about, and obviously this album openers, which was Mike Crowder's idea, as I mentioned.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah, thank you, Mike. We'll get his top 5 album openers. I'm sure they're not going to be anything like the ones we talked about.
No.
And we want more of these ideas from all of you guys. There's plenty of ways to skin a rabbit and to talk about music, but we want you guys to go to our social media. We want you to like, comment, subscribe, and share. Go to the Fourth Wall page, check that out, see all the things that you are missing on there. You can join for free. You can join for a couple shekels a month if you want. All of that money helps this machine keep moving and turning and putting out more content. Have you taken a look at the YouTube page lately? Have you navigated it? There's a lot.
There's a lot of stuff.
There's a lot of stuff, a lot of top 5s, unboxings. We've got shorts every week. We put shorts out. It's there's a lot to dig into. So please go to that YouTube page and subscribe because that helps us too. What else do we want people to do, John?
Well, comment. Give us your ideas.
Yeah.
Because we've done 2 shows in the past couple months that are from viewers or listeners.
Yeah. So please do that. We listen and we respond when you comment. And most of all, we want you all to have a great Christmas, a very happy and safe New Year. And in this time that you have off from work, hopefully, not everybody does, but some of us, please dig into those records, put them on, listen to them, let them envelop your entire being and become that record geek that exists within this area. So for Wheels, I'm Jay, and we'll see you all the next time around.
It's a final adventure.